let's say we had a pizza, okay, with 4 slices. So the pizza has 4 slices. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's say after a while you got hungry and you decided to eat one of those slices. So we have now 3 slices of pizza. 1, 2, 3. So in the first case, we had 1 whole pizza. Okay, we had 1 whole pizza. In the second case, because you ate 1 slice, now we have less than a whole pizza, right? And in fact, we have exactly 3/4 of a pizza. Okay, so it's less than a whole and it's 3/4. Okay, so let's look at another example. Let's say we have a number line. Okay, so 0 in the middle, and then positive integers or positive numbers on the right hand side and negative numbers on the left hand side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the left hand side same thing but negative. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and this keeps going until -infinity. That's why I drew the arrow here, to represent that it's continuous. And also on the right hand side, these numbers continue until positive infinity. Okay, and let's say I chose a random point somewhere here, let's say on the number line. So this point, let's say it's closer to 4, right? So let's say this point is 3 wholes and 3/4. Okay, so this point is represented by the number 3 and 3/4, which, if you wanted to convert it into an improper fraction, would be what? Well, it would be, we multiply 3 by 4 to get 12, add the 3, so we have 15 as the numerator over 4. Okay, so what's so special about these two numbers, the 3/4 and the 15/4? Well, they're not integers, right? 3/4 and 15/4, these numbers together are not integers. Okay, they're not integers in the sense like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So when we have fractions like this, such as 3/4 or 15/4, we call these rational numbers. Okay, just a fancy name for a number that can be expressed as a fraction of 2 integers. Okay, so let me repeat that. A rational number is a number that can be represented as a fraction of 2 integers. Okay, so 3/4 is a fraction of 2 integers, right? 3 is an integer and 4 is an integer. 15 is an integer and 4 is an integer. So these two are both rational numbers. And the integers don't have to be positive, right? Because we know that integers also include negative numbers, right? Integers also include negative numbers. So -1 is also an integer, -2 is also an integer, and so is -100, and so on and so forth, right? So if we had -50 over, for example, 75, this is still a rational number. Okay. One thing to note about rational numbers is that the denominator cannot be 0. Okay. So a rational number is any number that can be expressed as a fraction of 2 integers. However, the denominator cannot be 0. So for example, if we had 15 over 0, this is not a rational number. Because in math, we cannot have a 0 in the denominator of the fraction. It's basically, it gives you an error, and it's basically something called undefined. Okay, so a 0 is a no-no in math, in fractions. So whenever you have a 0 in the denominator, it is not a rational number. Okay, so the denominator always has to be a positive number. So that's what you need to know about rational numbers.